We started out with a little 3x3 tent. I think there was 3 trucks here, but had an absolute ball. At the time, I think it might have been Jimmy Curtin. He was my mentor when it came to Unimogs. I bought a truck, had no idea what I bought. Loved them, loved the concept of them for a long time. You know, I went and bought this thing, and a mate of ours put it up on the Instawebs, and all of a sudden I got this guy from Sydney call me up and say, "Mate, I'm driving past, I'm going to stop in with my Unimog." And from there it's grown. Packing list, just so we can try and remember things. Just basics, just have a quick look around.
The minimum breaking strength is 24 tonne. You legally only have to test the product once in your pre-production sample, and then you're done. What we do is a point of difference because we're trying to lead the way, not just for us but the other suppliers of rope recovery product, is we're actually putting a batch number on every single product, and every single product is batch tested before it leaves and is then sold to the market. So we use a NASA facility in Newcastle and one in Melbourne, and we batch test our products there so that we know that they're always breaking well and above their minimum breaking strain.
If you go and find a 12.5 tonne rated steel hook, a steel winch shackle at recovery point, and feel that, you're going to need 2 hands to pick up the steel one.
To go for a group drive over to Gymkhana, so if you do want to bring your truck, you're more than welcome to.
Truck's failed him. He's only got so far up the hill and it started to spin, and we're right up the back here in some of these really shitty gravelly tracks, and there's a couple of ways down. One's jump out, chuck it in neutral and run for your life. It's probably not a good option. What a lot of people tend to do is push the clutch in, and
you will die.
Yes, another very not a good option. Nobody likes to die. But Phil's going to tell you the right way to do it. Now, if you hear anyone here on these hills that's either stalled or they haven't made it and they've rolled themselves back down, you'll hear the gearbox going, what? And really spinning. That's basically the diffs pushing back through the gears, spinning them all backwards, forcing everything in the wrong direction, and not a real good scenario, particularly if you're in working group and you're sliding down the hill at 30 k's an hour.
I've gone up and the tyres are starting to scrabble and I'm losing traction, or for some unknown reason there might be something up there that I go, oh, I don't want to go there. There might be a great big spiky stick sticking out and I go, oh, I don't want to run over that. So the first thing you do, what you're going to do is you're going to glue your left leg on the floor. You're not going to go anywhere near the clutch. You're going to actually jam your foot on the handbrake, and then you're going to pull the park brake on. You're going to leave your foot on the handbrake, and then and only then, after everything's stalled, you actually turn your ignition off so nothing else happens. So handbrake on, foot on brake. Okay, you're going to then put your foot on the clutch with your foot on the brake as well, and then you're going to take it out of gear and you're going to put it in reverse. Now, these Mogs have got a fantastic forward reverse lever. You just pull it up into reverse and make sure that it's in reverse, okay? And then you're going to take your foot off the clutch, you're going to leave it in gear, you're going to then turn the ignition on, but don't start the motor, okay? You're going to keep your foot on the brake, you're going to take the handbrake off, and then you're going to take your foot slowly off the foot brake, because you want to ensure that the reverse has actually engaged, okay? When you've confirmed that you're in gear under engine compression, you're also going to make sure that these wheels here are facing straight down the hill. If these wheels are turned, to say if you've hit a stump and they've turned like that, if you start going down the hill, you will actually go sideways to the hill and then you'll start rolling down the hill. It's awesome if you have a spotter, because while you've got your foot on the brake and the handbrake on, they can dive out and hopefully not roll down the hill. They can go out up the front looking down at you, and they can tell you where your wheels are, right hand down, left hand down, etc. Okay, so you're under engine compression, you've got your foot just on the brake, you're going to take your foot off the brake, you're going to plant it on the floor with your clutch foot, and you're going to have a firm grip on the steering wheel, and then you're just going to flick the starter motor. That turns the engine on, and you'll drive it down the hill. Everything's under control. This is all about maintaining control, okay?
Track, there's two occasions for reverse. We want you actually to do reversing. Anywhere else, we would prefer you did safe reversing, but you do lose points. You add a point for hitting a cone reversing, and then there's some bunting, so pink stretchy tape. You can stretch that tape if you have to, as in the co-pilot can pull it out, but you're not allowed to snap it.
do is, like, have you guys ever heard of like a table challenge? You sit on top of a table and then you've got to climb underneath the table and back up on the table, and they do that with a chair or a gym bench. Well, that's what we do with mogs. So you've got to climb from standing up on top of the mog, you climb underneath, you climb all the way along, and then you pop out up the other end.
What was the best part of this weekend, what you reckon?
I think it's the opportunity to come together with other owners. We don't own one, but we've got a truck as well, and a four-wheel drive trucking community to come together and share ideas and just share friendship and get together and have a good time.
The four-wheel drive competition yesterday, and yeah, driving in a safe environment and in knowing there's other people around to help us out if we get stuck. That was really great fun.
Oh, it's just a big learning curve. Like, I wanted one for years, and just to come and see what they can do is pretty phenomenal. So, yeah, just meeting people and talking, getting different options on what you can and can't do with them, and where you can and can't go with them. So, yeah, no, the whole weekend's been bloody good, mate. And the staff there at Unidan been really good. Dan and his crew, they've more than helpful with information and setting you up with what you need to know. So yeah, I'm impressed.
I would say the four-wheel drive competition, since we ended up winning it, that always makes things a little sweeter. But just the camping, the atmosphere and spending time away and looking at other people's cars and setups.
Would you come next year?
You bet I'll be back here next year. So I'm from Sydney, so it's a bit of a drive, but I plan coming up in my Mog next year, so that'll be wonderful.
I quite enjoyed the Gymkhana play session. That was really good fun. Just testing the different vehicles limits, and also doing the Mog competition. That was good fun. It was nice to see the vehicles really working as hard as they did, and everyone still having a safe and fun time.
Favourite thing? Oh, look, I got to drive my potential truck, so I was very excited. So that's good, yeah, and just see some of the capabilities of it, really.
Having everyone as a community come together and really get to have that one-on-one time with people outside of the office and a business environment, it's really good to see everyone smiling and using their trucks and all that sort of thing.
For me, it's always about seeing the customers learn. It's great, or I shouldn't say customers, that the owners learn. It's great to see them come along and start of the weekend, not have no idea about how to drive their truck, but no idea that the level that their trucks can go to. And yeah, for me, that's always the best part.
I love the social interaction with people that are just so eager to learn about their vehicles and or learn about vehicles that they intend to buy in the future as well too. And I just love selling working group gears. I reckon that's probably one of the best investments you can put on to a Unimog. Definitely. And you know, running that the competition track as well too. That's a really good fun thing to do. But I reckon it's just a really well put together weekend.